Welcome to our incredible webinar this morning and this afternoon, wherever you are around the world. And I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. And it is my delight and pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Carol Kammerer. Carol is an incredible expert on LinkedIn. I have personally learned so much from Carol about how to optimize my LinkedIn, and you will today as well. Just to let you know a few things about Carol, she has been recognized by the American Reporter as one of the top 6 personal branding experts in the country. Carol is the author of the #1 best-selling book, LinkedIn for the Savvy Executive. She specializes in LinkedIn, optimizing people's LinkedIn presence for C-suite executives, speakers, coaches, and trusted advisors. And she's a part of the National Speakers Association, which, if you know, that's an expert group of professional speakers. Carol is also an advisor to the C-Suite Network Thought Council and esteemed faculty of the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Carol, let's welcome you to our global stage. And if you'd like to, take yourself off mute, friends, and let's give Carol a big hoorah and happy you're here. Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I really appreciate you being with me today, and thank you for that introduction. So when I tried to figure out some coherent group of things to share with you, some nuggets that I knew that you would be able to use, mistakes that people make came to mind, myths that they have. Because when you don't understand how LinkedIn works, when you have misconceptions, you act on those. And when you act on something that's not correct, you head down the wrong path. And so I picked the 3 most egregious misconceptions about LinkedIn, because I know that if we start going on the right path, we will have more opportunity for success. So the very first myth that I would like to bust is less is more. Now, I absolutely believe that less is more in many circumstances. Less is more when it comes to clutter. Less is more when it comes to fashion and design and interior decorating. But less is never more on LinkedIn. And that is because every LinkedIn profile has 2 audiences. The first audience is people. People need to know who you are. So just a little bit, know about section, or a 2-sentence about section that people are so fond of. It does not set us up for any kind of business relationship, any kind of friendship, any kind of relationship at all. People need to know, like, and trust you before they are going to do business with you. And if your profile is minimalist, you don't have the room to share that information. What I build in to a LinkedIn profile, and I will help you do if you are one of the participants at the LinkedIn Leaders Lab, is your purpose, your passion, your principles, the things that set your eyes alight, that delight you in the world of work, because that's infectious, that's exciting, and we need to know people just like that. So the #1 reason that less is not more on LinkedIn, that we need to tell who we are, is people need to know. But the second audience is equally important, and that's the LinkedIn bots. Now, the purpose of the LinkedIn bots here, they see that someone has made uh, a search request. They are looking for a certain kind of person, and they put in the keywords in the search box, and LinkedIn has to come up really fast with a ranked order result. Now, they are looking at the keyword that's being asked about, and they're looking at your profile, and they're not looking at about, is the keyword there or is it not there? No, they're looking at how many times it shows up in your profile. Now, if you were only trying to satisfy bots, you could just write the keyword over and over and over and over again in your sections, and the bots would be thrilled, but the people would not. The people, as a matter of fact, are going, "Oh, what a game! You know, this is disingenuous. I don't need anything. I don't need this person at all." So you need to have the intelligence of both using your keywords often, but in a context. So we need to write to LinkedIn's limits. Each section has a limit. And for instance, on the about section, the limit is 2,600 characters, which is like 5 paragraphs. Now, if Sally writes 2 sentences about herself in the about section, and Jane writes 5 paragraphs, who is going to rank higher than the other? Not Sally. Sally has not made a case from a people point of view, and she's certainly not made a case for herself to be ranking highly on a keyword search for the bots. So on LinkedIn, less is never more. We write to the margins in every section. We try to use as many of the optional sections as possible, because we know that when we write about the courses that we have taken or the courses that we taught, they are full of our keywords. Our honors and awards, our organizations that we belong to, all have keywords that are part of who we are. And when we are intelligent about knowing what drives the algorithm, that's the money. That's where we have more visibility, more credibility, and they yield more profitability for us. So this is an important myth, and I consider it well busted. So the second myth is LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile is just a placeholder. It's okay. Well, it's not okay. It's not okay to be out of date. It's not okay to be out of sync with where your heart is leading you. It's not okay to show off half-baked, because LinkedIn is your shop window. It's the door to your opportunity. And if you have nothing to show for yourself in your shop window, and it's pretty obvious to people that you've abandoned your store window, it's not going to happen for you. So your profile just can't be fallow. It is a living, dynamic document. We need to refresh it. We need to be putting things like new things in our featured section. So these are some of the strategies that I'll be sharing in the LinkedIn Leaders Lab, because when we understand what drives results, we can reverse engineer that and make sure that our profile delivers those results. So here is the third myth that I want to bust today. It is posting that you're open to work, thinking that it's going to get you a job faster. So here's the deal. It possibly could if you were looking for an entry-level job. Now, if you're looking for an entry-level job, the recruiters that recruit for entry-level jobs need to minimize their time in processing people. And this is a good indicator that this person is interested in jobs and they have the qualifications, and yes, that will work. So if you're interested in flipping burgers, great. Put this on there, the photo frame of open to work. But if you are at an executive level, I want you to know that this will damage your brand and make the opportunities that are available to you very scant indeed. It looks desperate. It looks disingenuous. It also it indicates a cluelessness about how the executive search process works. If I'm hiring for burger flippers, I need to find them fast, and I need to know that they can come tomorrow at 10. Great stuff. If I am hiring for a senior level position, that is not at all my expectation. My expectation is it's going to take months to find the right person and then for them to be ready to come on board. I may be planning a time horizon of a year or more to actually fill that position in the way that it needs to be filled. I'm not looking for the person who's sitting on their hands looking for a job. I'm looking for the very best candidate. And the very best candidate in the eyes of an executive recruiter is almost never someone who would put that they were open to work. So it's not just that photo frame that we're talking about. It is also, they filter out people who have these keywords: available for, seeking, looking for. All of those things come off their search qualifications because they specifically do not want to prioritize people who are looking for a job. Now, that can be a problem because we all lose jobs from time to time because of external circumstances. But when I work with someone who has a job transition, they're currently not in their role, we quietly just put an end date to their position. And we talk about in their about section the areas of specific interest and things like going forward. I will be engaged in blah, blah, blah. There are other so much subtler ways to communicate than pow, I am unemployed. And so that makes me qualified. It doesn't make you qualified. We need to qualify ourselves in other ways. So all of these are things that I'm going to be talking about in the LinkedIn Leaders Lab. You know, there are probably 10 myths or mistaken things that we will be discussing over time. Let's see, let Catherine in. During the LinkedIn Leaders Lab. But I wanted to move to just an overview of that and to give people time to ask any questions that they might have about the LinkedIn Leaders Lab. Hey, Catherine, we have just moved from the didactic part to the part about the LinkedIn Leaders Lab and eventually questions. So I'm going to give it a little overview. Not in my slides here. Okay. So the LinkedIn Leaders Lab is so exciting. I can hardly contain myself. It is a 60-day program. It's a group program done with me as opposed to done for you. a true transformation in your LinkedIn profile and presence online. I will teach you the strategies for injecting your purpose and your personality and your passion for work so that you can truly stand out and that the opportunities that come to you will be the right ones. My purpose in creating the LinkedIn Leaders Lab is to help individuals who just feel invisible online. People who are not getting traction in the way that they hope to get traction. So we will be primarily focusing on your profile itself, your brand, but also if that's not your main problem, we will be focusing on how do you engage online so that you have greater visibility, greater credibility, and then of course, greater profitability. So let's see, what else did I want to say about this? We're going to be starting Wednesday. So if you want in on this inaugural flight here, this is the time. And here are the benefits. In addition to creating that greater visibility and credibility, we're going to be aligning your profile with your career aspirations and goals so that you're no longer living in the past. You are definitely aiming at your future. We're going to help you build a magnetic profile that is attracting the right opportunities for you, the ones that you have in your heart that you want. We're going to go for that. And you have enhanced visibility in your field. Group meetings.
When we all be taking questions?
This would be a perfect time. Thank you, Dustin.
No problem at all. It's one is more of a statement, and then I'm going to my question. A couple of times, Carol, you've mentioned VCP, visibility, credibility, and profitability. I love the fact that you're mentioning that because I was originally introduced to that concept by another prolific LinkedIn user such as yourself, a guy by the name of Stephen Burda, Burda. You may have heard of. I've learned a lot from him over the years, and I love the fact that you're mentioning that. But the one thing I wanted to ask about is what is your position on speaking in the first person through your profile? I am of the absolute belief that it is the way to do it, because if I walked into a networking event and started talking to people in the third person, I would look like an idiot.
That is absolutely what I believe. Also, especially in the about section. The about section should be written in the first person.
Agreed.
Because you are speaking directly to the people that are your ideal audience, and it should sound like you're having a conversation. Are there questions about the course itself?
Carol, I'll jump in. You made some references to executives and our corporate folks. I'm an entrepreneur and a business owner, and I'm registered for your LinkedIn Leaders Lab because I view this as just as important, if not more so, for entrepreneurs and business owners, subject matter experts, coaches, consultants, that this just confirming this program is really for everyone who wants to build in their LinkedIn visibility, their presence, and then their personal and professional profitability, right?
Absolutely. It is so interesting because I consider entrepreneurs to be like CEOs of their own company. So I kind of rolled them together, but you are right. Business owners and people who provide services directly, those are absolutely people that need to communicate well. about their presence online.
So one of the questions that I received in a private message is, Carol, are you going to offer this program again? I mean, the private message said, this program looks awesome, and just curious if you're going to offer it again in the fall. So I just wanted to prompt you with that question.
Okay. The answer is, I don't know. This is an inaugural offering, and as such, I have priced it very well. It will never be at this price again. If I don't like it, it'll never come around again. But I know that I'm putting my heart and soul into this now because I really want to see if I can make this fly. I want to be able to impact more people more quickly. And so I'm going to give it my all. If you really want to get in on this action, this is the time. This is the QR code that I've put up. It'll lead you to the landing page and the registration link.
Thank you. And Carol, you've also explained to me that you've taken all of the content that you work with people one-on-one on, and essentially that VIP opportunity, and you've converted it now into this group coaching program, which is
Absolutely.
fantastic. And so it's really getting to have the VIP experience, but also being able to get the feedback from the other participants that are also high level, executive minded people too. You'll get their feedback as well. So it's really the best of both worlds. Would you say that all? Would you agree, Carol?
It's true. So I built the course to bridge between my VIP done for you program and my online do-it-yourself course. It's a mid position, and it's certainly priced at much less than a mid price at this point. But the concept is, I have a heart to help people get their LinkedIn profile right. I saw so many people have to retire in 2008 when they lost their jobs. And I didn't understand it at the time until I lost my job in 2011. Then I realized they failed to leverage LinkedIn. They still thought that life was all about the perfect resume. Well, it is, but not on that piece of paper anymore. And so that's where my current chapter is. I really am working to help people have good impact, not be required to retire because there's nobody that will hire them. If you still have the desire to work, I think that you should be able. And that's one of the things that is part of my passion for this work.
Great. And Carol, also, you've mentioned that all of the sessions are recorded and you've got all of the field work in a vault, so to speak, so that if you miss a session, it's not a problem because you can access the recordings, right, Carol? Everything is recorded. Yes.
Absolutely. So in addition to the group sessions, we will have a private LinkedIn group. We will have opportunity to post things there. I will give feedback. Other people will give feedback. I'm hoping that it will be that synergy that we were talking about in terms of making the group really actively part of your experience in transforming your profile.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity cost really to waiting because the world is always moving forward, and there's opportunities that are happening right now that if we don't have our LinkedIn optimized, Carol, could we be at risk, honestly, for missing them? And it's just really just one opportunity that makes the biggest difference for this year and beyond, right?
Right. If the bots don't find you for the opportunity because your profile is not optimized, you've missed out and you don't even know.
Yeah.
So we have no idea how many opportunities are slipping through our fingers because our profile doesn't share who we are and what we're looking for. So that's my pitch is, if you're interested in this opportunity, please sign up today. The time is running out for sure.
Yeah.
And the cart will close.
Great. Well, Carol, thank you. Thank you. So informative. And I mean, I'm leaning in and thinking, all right, those other 7 LinkedIn myths, I need to know what those are. And I know you're going to address those in your LinkedIn Leaders Lab, among many others. And, this is your program. I'm so grateful because it's going to accelerate my success and everyone who's part of this on LinkedIn. So we get to use LinkedIn to accelerate us and be ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve. Another
That's the
great tool.
goal. That's the goal. And that really is what I want for people. So thank you so much, each of you, for coming today. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you were in the audience here. And if you have questions of me, that right there is my email address on the slide. Take a picture. There's also the QR code. Take a picture. It would be a delight to see you in the LinkedIn Leaders Lab. Thanks so much, Kathleen, for help. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful rest of your day.